The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing Icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week with your host, Tomasz Fonseca, and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business, from $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
So welcome to another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast, where we highlight top professionals who are making waves in the industry. I'm your host, Karen Roberts, and today we're excited to introduce Victoria Lance. She is a top real estate professional in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, with over 20 years of experience, ranking in the top 0.1% of agents in the state. Now, she specializes in residential properties, averaging 100 homes sold per year and $32.8 million in sales. She is known for her integrity and dedication to client success. So welcome to the show, Victoria.
Thank you. Thank you.
So would you like to share with the listeners a little bit about what the inspiration was behind you going into real estate 20 years ago?
Well, to be completely transparent, the reason I got into real estate was to provide for my family. I didn't necessarily know a lot about it. I didn't have, grow up with a passion to be in real estate. I was just in a position where I needed to provide I had one child and one child on the way already. I had my daughter, my son was on the way, and I needed to figure out a basically career path. I had been a stay-at-home mom, and I was like, if something goes wrong with this marriage, then I'm going to be the sole provider for these children, and I need to figure out something to do with the rest of my life. So I was sort of inspired by my girlfriend who got into real estate and did really well. And I just sort of stumbled into it and found a community, a family that I really care and love, and just a career for the rest of my life.
Awesome. So, you've been doing this a while. So what strategies have you found that are the most effective in helping clients achieve their real estate goals, and how have they evolved over the last 20 years?
Oh my gosh, there's been a lot of evolution over the last 20 years. So when I first got into real estate, social media wasn't a thing. I did have a cell phone. Cell phones were a thing at the time, but social media wasn't a thing. And then all of a sudden, Facebook kind of comes on, and nobody was using it for marketing. And now think of all the things we have for social media and for marketing, not just posts, but reels and TikTok and YouTube. None of that was being used 20 some years ago. So the evolution has been very fast. And it's constantly changing. I use AI in my business. I wouldn't have even known what AI was 3 years ago. It's constantly changing. And I think the strategies that you use for sellers, they have to change as well. So you have to be able to not only kind of keep up with the times, which is, I know it can be harder and harder as we age, but you have to embrace technology. You have to be able to embrace these changes. But at the same time, you can't get away from the foundation, which is people, which is having conversations. It's just talking to people, making sure everyone knows that you're in real estate. Like, that was the first thing I was taught in real estate school, is tell everyone. But now we just have so many more platforms to tell everyone.
And do you see that as maybe with the younger ones coming in, because they have grown up with social media and maybe not so used to actually speaking to people in person, do you think the younger generation have a little bit more of a struggle with that you guys, because that was your foundation, for you guys, combining that with everything around social media might be better. But do you see that as a danger for the younger ones coming in, because we've got so many other tools at our feet? But as you say, the go back to the basics, and you've got to be able to pick up the phone and talk to the people.
Absolutely. I think that is going to be our younger generation's challenge, is to be able to have a face-to-face, look me in the eye conversation. But at the same time, the older generation, our struggle is the social media. So in a way, I think that we all have our own struggles. We all have our own things that we are good at. But yeah, with them growing up with it at their fingertips, I mean, I don't mind sharing, like, I'm early 50s. And I have no problem sharing that I didn't grow up with a camera in my face, where our children did. And they have no problem, makeup, no makeup, crazy hair, no crazy hair. They have no problem just getting out there and saying, what they're doing. And whether sometimes it's the silliest things, going to lunch with a friend or brushing their teeth. You have people on social media literally telling their story or a story of some sort while they're putting on their makeup. That's like their thing. And I'll be honest, I'm hooked in sometimes. I'm like, well, how's this going to go? But yeah, I think that they definitely have, they have a challenge with talking to people face to face, but they also have a leg up on us because they don't overthink the social media aspect of it, where I think the older generation does. Yeah.
Yes, there's pros and cons, I suppose.
Exactly.
So can you share a memorable experience where you made a significant impact on a client's life through a real estate transaction?
Ooh. I mean, I'd like to think that we do that, maybe not every single time as significant, but I'd like to say we do that, a lot. Like, anytime you help a first-time home buyer, they are so fun to work with, to really make that impact. They get their first home. Most recently, I have a gentleman who's 40 years old, and he bought his first house. And I would say he was so excited. And, the house was older. We had challenges with his budget. The house was older. We overcame all of that. He is in an adorable brick house that's going to be very low maintenance long term. And he is so excited to go and buy, like, his first couch, his first, his bed that he chose for himself for his house. So he was just super excited. We're still friends today. And I just checked up on him last week, and he's just having a ball with that new house.
Yes, you are making a massive difference in, this is a very big thing in people's lives. So for you, you're a former real estate technology trainer and director of a real estate school. So what trends or technologies do you believe? I mean, you just mentioned AI a little bit earlier. What do you believe are going to be shaping the future of real estate?
I think that a lot of technology, a lot more AI, a lot more automation, we're going to start seeing. A lot more people have information at their fingertips. And as the baby boomers, kind of age out of the market, then we're going to start seeing these more savvy buyers. Once again, they have information at their fingertips. They know how to find it. They're not afraid to use the computer. So I really think we're going to have to constantly be stepping up our game. But I think you're going to see a lot more automation, a lot more it's about saving time and making it easier for people. And that's exactly what you have to do in your business, is make sure that you can meet them where they are. They are busy, and you are also busy. So you've got to get those automations in place. You've got to get your systems in place to make sure that you're catching those clients when they raise their hand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So again, it's all about, you've got to keep up. That's the message that I'm getting there. Yeah.
I would agree with that. I wish I knew like one thing, like, oh, you're going to have to be good at X. And if I did say one thing, I would probably say marketing, social media marketing.
Definitely. So how do you maintain work-life balance while managing a successful real estate career and family life? What activities help you personally recharge?
Oh, goodness. So I probably don't have a very good balance. I'm going to be very honest with you, and never have. I'm a bit of a workaholic. In this stage of my life, I am lucky that my kids are older. My son is out of the house. He's in the army, serving our country, but our daughter's in nursing school. She's about to finish up and get married. So I'm in a stage where I don't have little ones, pulling on me all the time. So that's good. But I would say for a balance is just anything I can do just to get away with my husband. We're been married 26 years. We're extremely tight, just very, very happy. And I would say anything I can do just to step away with him for a little while, whether it's just go to dinner. I enjoy reading. He enjoys sports, so he can be doing that while I read a book. So anything to just take a break, allow myself to put the phone down, and not just be constantly, what can I do now? What can I do now? Just allow myself to take a breather.
Yeah. Yes. You're known for working a lot, and from what you or your whole team have achieved, I mean, averaging 100 transactions, that's phenomenal. What are your goals then moving forwards? I mean, that's a pretty big result. So what's next for Victoria Lance?
Well, I kind of feel like I'm at a restart in a sense, because when I was doing that number, I was on a team. And so I feel like now I am the team. I'm Lance Real Estate Group. I have buyer's agents. And so at this point, it's keep going. It's real estate. It's a constant hustle, but it's to make sure that I can provide quality service to my clients and also to those in my charge. Like, I take that very, very seriously. I lead my team with the utmost transparency and integrity, and that's really, really important to me. Just from my background, and I'm a Christian also, and so that's very, very important to me, is just to lead them and help them make, like I've been able to make a success with my family and provide for my family, help them do that for their families too. Just help lift them up in general. That's really important for me, not only for my clients, but also for my team.
Fantastic. And so our last question is always the same, because at Real Estate Podcast, we're not just a podcast, we are a podcast production company for realtors. We are passionate about making podcasting accessible for all. So my last question is, if you had your own podcast, what would you call it?
Oh my gosh. I've seen a lot over the years. So, what not to do when selling your home? Or I don't know. I would probably like, instead of what to do, what not to do. Like, I've seen this, don't do that. I've seen this, don't do that, So
love it.
That's a great question.
On things. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. So wonderful. For the listeners, I suppose, if they're looking to buy or sell in Atlanta, how do they find you? How do they reach you?
So the name of my team is Lance Real Estate Group. You can easily find us at lancere.com. That's my website. You can always email me, victoria@lancere.com. So I feel like I'm super easy to find. You can just Google me or Google Lance Real Estate Group, and you'll definitely find us.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And it's an inspirational story for lots of other mums out there that are making it in the real estate world. So yeah, thanks once again. And to the listeners, I will be back next time with another episode of the Icons of Real Estate podcast. Bye for now.